FSA is diving into a new venture. We have NFL news for you. And membership closes in 38 days. All this and more in 20 seconds. Hey, fellow fanatics, welcome to the Fanatically Real broadcast sponsored by Football, Darts, and Fantasy Sports Alliance. How is everybody tonight? We certainly missed you after taking a break from last week. Let's see who's out there tonight. MJ says she's present. Let's go. Jenna's on with us. Hey, Jenna, how are you? Hey, in case you all don't know, Jenna comes on almost every single week and says hi to me. Jenna is my oldest son, Taylor's girlfriend. So whenever you ever hear me say hi to Jenna, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, we don't have a Jenna in the league, that's because she is my son's girlfriend, and she comes on almost every week and says hi to us. Damian Scott on with us as well. Damian, how are you? You know what I was going to do today while I was setting up for the show, and I didn't do it, and I apologize after our conversation this morning, was to set up the Twitter account to make sure both you and I have access to it. So as soon as we're done with the show tonight, I'll make sure we can try to make that happen, because I believe you're working right now, so you're kind of available to test it out to see if it's good to go. Is that right? Let me know. First of all, we would like to thank our broadcast sponsor, Football Darts. Football Darts is a dart game that combines the skill of traditional darts with the strategies of American football. This innovative dart game is played on a uniquely designed multiple target dartboard. Unlike traditional British darts, American football darts is a game that combines both the skill of darts and the strategies of football. It can be played in sports bars, at tailgate events, as league tournaments, or as a leisure activity in the comfort of your home. If you would like to check out their officially licensed collegiate dartboards, go to footballdarts.com. Jenna says she loves me. Love you too, Jenna. How are you? All right, cool. Damian says that he will be working tonight, so when we get done with the show tonight, I'll make sure that I hit you up. And we'll see if we can't get this Twitter thing going, since we couldn't get it to work across mobile today for us. The evil Kevin Godwin on with us tonight. Kevin, how are you? Before we get a little bit deeper into the show, we are definitely going to talk about these guys, the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast crew. They say an empty wagon that makes a lot of noise. Listen to our partners Josh, Eric, and Brad talk fantasy football on their podcast, the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. They are your one-stop shop for fantasy football information and news. These guys talk rankings and projections with a whole lot of comedy. So we took off last week, so we didn't get to talk about Empty Wagon's show from last week, and that is probably the most unfortunate part for us from taking a week off from last week, because their show that they did last week was called Is It Time to Tear It Down? It was a great show explaining if it was time for you to rebuild or tear down, and rebuild your dynasty teams. So I listened to it once, and then I put it on again, and I listened to it the second time, and I took notes. It was a great, great listen. You need to go out and listen to their show from last week. And then this week's show was called This or That. The guys compared players with similar ADPs and asked each other which of the players that they would take. And the insight of these guys is absolutely amazing. The way their minds work, thinking about the entirety of the draft and what the draft has already given them. We've said this many, many times. If you aren't already listening to these guys, you're doing fantasy football wrong. You need to go listen to them. Find them wherever you listen to your podcast and subscribe to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. Follow them on all of their social media sites, which is at Empty Wagon FF, and then go out to their website, which is www.emptywagonff.com. Tell them that we sent yourself their way. We sent them your way. We sent you their way. Sure, why not? Why not? Come get some Sanders in Delta. Who wants Sanders in Delta League? Nobody wants him. MJ says the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast is such a great show, and it is. She says she listened to them 2 times as well. I'm in a hardcore rebuild in Bravo. How are you already rebuilding in Bravo? We haven't even started the season yet. Taylor on with me as well. Hey, kiddo, how are you? The other half of Jenna, which would actually be my son, I guess, in this case. Where have I heard that before, Brian? Which one have you heard before? Tell me, Damien. So, if you like our show tonight, make sure you go out and subscribe to us. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. We're going to talk about YouTube a little bit later on in the show. And we're going to have a second contributor to the FSA Twitter site here very, very soon. If we can figure out the logistics of it all. Damian Scott, that's on with us right now. Him and I talked a couple of weeks ago. And I would love to have Damien on board to do the same contributing that he's already been doing for us and some of the great stuff that he does against his own handle on Twitter. And I asked him if he would come on board and do that with us in FSA, and he graciously accepted, and we very, very much appreciate that. We just got to figure out the logistics of it. So hopefully by tonight, Damien, we'll be able to get you hooked up. So tell me what it is that where have you heard something before? Membership. I'm getting text messages like crazy over here from people. Let me see who this is, because this is a very important message for tonight. Let me see what Jimmy has to say for me. He says he's joining now. We'll see if we see his name come up here or not. Because I don't know if we're following each other on Facebook yet, Jimmy. I don't know if you'll show up on there tonight as far as messages. So you'll have to let me know from you hitting me up on Snapchat right now if you can see us or not. Go to Facebook and search Fantasy Sports Alliance. That should get him over there. Big announcement coming your way here in a couple of weeks for what we just did, and that's the reason I did that live on Facebook tonight. So, hey, let's, like I was just saying, if you like us, watch the show tonight, share us on Facebook, go out to Twitter or YouTube and subscribe. You don't have to turn the notifications on. You can turn those off if you want to. Just make sure you go out and subscribe. We'll talk about YouTube in a little bit. What we're going to talk about right now. Damien says, if you're not listening to Empty Wagon, you are doing fantasy wrong. That's because Damien likes to put that in all of his posts, or a lot of his posts, when he's talking about it on Twitter. And it's because he's not wrong. And that's why I borrowed it, because you are right when you say that. Because those guys are awesome. Brad, Josh, and Eric, they are just awesome dudes. Their minds, like, I'm on this side from the commissioner standpoint, and I'm thinking, how have I been doing this for so long? And I don't have anywhere close to the insight that these guys do. They could easily come over, all three of them, any of the three of them individually, and run this FSA thing like I have been doing. And I would gladly let them do it because they're just so awesome. There's Jimmy. How are you? You found us. So I see you now. I don't know what I should say right now, Jimmy. You let me know how much I should let this. Eric's on with us from Empty Wagon. Eric, how are you? Jimmy, you let me know how much I should leak here tonight about anything. And I'm ready to wait for a couple of weeks before we truly announce anything. But you just let me know how much we should tell tonight. Eric, I appreciate it. The big section of the show tonight is going to be about this jersey you see right here. Can't wait to get to that part. Before we do, let's get to the membership part that I've been talking about, or trying to get to for the last couple minutes. So membership closes in 38 days. The redraft spots are filling up really fast, and we're extremely limited on them. So make sure, if you're going to get into the redraft league this year, that you sign up. Go over to www.fsa-fr.com, which is down there in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen right now. If you're on your mobile device, you're going to have to scroll a little bit behind it. But if you're on the computer, you're just looking for the blue image that says Join Today. Click on that. There's all kinds of membership options on there. Go in there. Right now, all of the Dynasty Leagues are closed. We've got Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta already picked up, but the redraft is open, And the QB54 Arm and Leg League is open, so make sure you go out and sign for either one of those. It's only going to cost you $60. Go sign up for both leagues. Yeah, go sign up for both of them. Like I said, the redraft league is filling up super, super quick, but the arm and leg league is wide open. Only $10 to get in there. It won't cost you an arm and a leg to play in that one, and the winner of that is going to get a cool set of chairs from QB54, so make sure you go out and check that out. Ross Norris on with us, our partnership in the QB54 Arm and Leg League. Ross Norris is on with us. Ross, how are you? How is the baby doing, Ross? Let us all know. Sean Purcell on with us. Sean, we haven't seen you on for a while. Good to see you on, man. And yes, they are simply great football minds. Did you say you are moving the redraft from 96 to 108? No, but we are going to increase it to 100 if we have the ability to. Because according to Ross, him and I were talking a couple of weeks ago, right, Ross? And you let me know that the MFL has actually increased the amount of teams that they can have in a league to 100 now from 96, which is a good thing. But yeah, I think we have to cap it at 100. I don't think MFL will allow us to do over 100 this year. Now, next year, as we cross over that 96 or 100 threshold, we are going to run 2 FSA leagues on MFL to be able to facilitate all of the players that we're going to have next year. But for this year, 96 to 100 is what we're looking for. We keep mentioning this QB54 Arm and Leg League. In case you don't know what QB54 is, and they are the sponsor of this league, here's a little example of what QB54 is. So while we're running the commercial there, Ross came across and said the new baby's heart procedure is scheduled for 7:15. Prayers heading out to you, the baby and the whole family, Ross, as that goes down. Hopefully everything comes out okay on that side. And Jimmy says, let's build up the suspense. Jimmy, I love it. You just got to let me know when we're going to talk. We can have a meeting just like this without everybody else around, just you and me. Hey, so we also said at the top of the show that we had some NFL news for you. NFL news. Dak Prescott signed his franchise tender on Monday, and if a long-term deal isn't worked out, he will play under the 2020 season in a fully guaranteed $31.4 million contract. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. And actually, I would love to hear your thoughts on anything that we bring up tonight. We don't have a whole lot of news, so I would really like to open this up to a Q&A. So if you have anything out there tonight, hit me up with it. Last week, the reason we took the night off was because when I sat down to write the script for the show, I was really having brain strain trying to figure out what we were going to talk about. And so I didn't have a lot to talk about. I thought it might just be a good week to take off. Tonight, we got a little bit to talk about. Love to see everybody out there tonight. So, once again, since we came out of the commercial, Ross, prayers your way. Jimmy, sounds good to me. Sean, don't know what you're saying yes to, but we're going to say yes anyways. So the other piece of NFL news that we have, you probably already know this if you were listening to the Empty Wagon guys this week, or if you've paid attention to any of the waiver wire or injury news. San Francisco wide receiver Deebo Samuel is out indefinitely with a broken foot. He's supposed to be having surgery on that foot and will be likely out for 3 to 4 months. Also, a couple other people online right now trying to look for us. Let me see if I can send them our way. Get on Facebook and look for Fantasy Sports Alliance. Did I spell that right? See if they can find it. Just wait for the Cowboys to make the move. Yeah, I've been seeing that as well, too. That's cool. Let them go ahead and spend all of their salary cap and not have any work move to be able to do anything else with the team for the next couple of years. That's cool. Whatever they want to do for all of those Dallas Cowboy fans that are out there. Eric, if you're still on watching this, yeah, you know exactly what I mean. All right, so a couple things that we talked about at the beginning of the show was that the membership was closing in a couple of days. We talked about NFL news we had for you. We just mentioned that, the Dak Prescott and the Deebo Samuel piece of it. The other thing that we had out there, we said that we had a new venture that we are going under. And the title of the show tonight was New Beginnings. Eric, I appreciate if you're still out there for saying that you like the jersey tonight. But this is kind of leading into the new beginnings and the new venture that we're going under. So about 65 to 70 days ago, probably about the time the family got our the stimulus check, we decided that we were going to pay off a couple of bills with that. And then we decided that we're going to take a little bit of extra money and spend it on a few things that we've been wanting to do or get for a year or so. And I wanted to do it. Boys and their toys, right? The only difference between boys and men is the price of their toys. So I guess I've become a man because of the price of the toys for the things that I purchase now. I wanted to go out and get a full-sized helmet and a jersey of the new brand that became part of me in last year, which was right the beginning of our 26th year of FSA. So after being the Nightbreed for 25 years, I decided I wanted to do something different. And I created this new brand called the Monarchs, right? So what I wanted to do was I wanted to go out and spend a little bit of money on a helmet and a jersey. And you saw the helmet on me when I started the show. You see the jersey on me now. Let me talk about the process and what happened with this. The two companies that I went with were Helmet Nation and another company called Hopco Sports. And I'm bringing all this up because this is going to lead into the new venture that we're talking about. And let me pause for just a second because Damian Scott says, Deebo injury almost always require a second surgery to be careful if you're looking to invest in him. Absolutely true. The same thing was put out by the Empty Wagon guys this week when they said the same thing. It usually requires a second surgery to be able to get that right. So absolutely be careful when you're investing in him right now. Sean says, take my money already. Sean, you don't even know what I'd be taking your money for. We're going to continue down this road though. Then you let me know if you still want me to give you, if you still want to give me your money or not. So Helmet Nation and Hopco Sports are the two companies that I went with. All I can say about these two companies, and I don't know if the guys that own both of these are going to be out there to watch this later. I don't even know if any of you might end up tagging them after the show to let them know what I said about it. But I'm going to be truthful about my situation or my dealings with these two companies, because it would be no different if I went out and left a review anywhere else, because I left a review immediately after I got the helmet from Helmet Nation. So much to the fact that I got a call from the owner of the company immediately after I posted some stuff on social media. Eric Talbot on with us, everybody. He says, good evening. Good evening, Eric. How are you? So the customer service for both of these companies were absolutely horrible. I don't even know how to sugarcoat it, and I won't because there's no reason to. Neither one of these companies ever reached out to me to let me know what was going on with the process. I've had custom jerseys made by other companies, and these guys were so great when I had those custom jerseys made that they were taking pictures of the process, pictures when the material was cut, pictures after it was put together to let me know, hey, here's your first one, do you approve of it? And then we'll run the rest of them for you and stuff like that. I didn't ever know what was going on with my helmet unless I reached out to Helmet Nation first. No idea what was going on with the jersey unless I reached out to Hopco Sports first. So the customer service, number one, was horrible for both of these. And then when the products showed up to my home, they weren't great at all. And this is what led me to writing a not so good review on all social media, which prompted, first off, Helmet Nation to get a hold of me. So I know you can't see it right now, and let me go ahead and lean the camera up so I can show you the collection. So if you all see the collection of the XFL helmets that I have here up across these shelves all the way here in the office, you can see all of those up there. And one of the things that I wrote whenever I got the helmet was that the helmet quality just wasn't the same as these helmets behind me. And you got to remember how long ago the XFL was around. And the quality of the helmet that might come from a company called Bike. If you all know who Bike is, it's definitely not a Schutt, it's not a Rydell, it's not all of the things that we're used to hearing about in the football world, right? So I get this helmet, and all of those helmets naturally sent forward on a face mask level on any platform you put them on. And the helmet that I got from Helmet Nation did not do that. So I was already disappointed in the product. And when I put it next to all of my other helmets that were up there, what I realized was how small the face mask was for the helmet when they gave it to me. So this is the face mask that I got from them. I want you to compare it to the face mask that I now have on the helmet. Yes, the color's a little bit different, and I'm trying to see if I can get them both in there, but look at the thickness of the face mask and the difference between the two of them. And I thought some of that had to do with the weight of the face mask, which is why the helmet wasn't leaning forward. And I did get a phone call from Aaron, the owner of Helmet Nation, to explain to me what is happening. His explanation was that the Schutt helmet has changed over the last couple years. And to make it safer for the players, that they had cut out the back part of the helmet a little bit, so it wasn't driving into their neck while they were playing. And this is true. When I compared it against other Schutt helmets that were out there in the market that are older, he is right. That has significantly been cut in the back. But also at the same time, the face mask that looks like that was put on it was probably for Pee Wee football or something of the like. And yeah, it might have been for a novelty piece, but I wanted something realistic. So what I ended up doing, so the face mask that you see on here right now, wouldn't you know it, is off of my Orlando Rage helmet from my XFL. I took the face mask directly off of that and unscrewed it and put it on this one. And what's funny is when I talked to Aaron from Helmet Nation on the phone that night, he told me that the brand of the face mask of what I was looking for, or similar to what I was looking for, and the model number of it, which is an ROPO-DW for all of those that want to know. And when I took the face mask off of the Bike helmet for the Orlando Rage, wouldn't you know it, that the face mask that's actually being used on their helmets are Schutt face mask. And this is the exact face mask that he told me that I could go out and get. Why this wasn't put on the helmet in the first place, I don't know. The price that he quoted for me to be able to put this on there was about $34 more than what I could go out and get it for myself. So that's what I'm going to be doing sometime soon, is going to be buying this model face mask for myself to put on this one brand new, so I can put this original one back on the Orlando Rage. But there were other things that I didn't like about the helmet. So if you see the decal there on the side, I do like the white outline that's on that. However, it's very small. It's nearly an inch in diameter, diameter. Smaller than any of the other ones that I have up there. Whenever I put what I wanted for the stripes down the center of the helmet, those white stripes that you see on the top of the helmet right there were supposed to be much further forward. You don't really get a full effect of those stripes unless you look at the back of them on there. So there's just a lot of not to like for this helmet, especially for the price that I paid for it. So that was one of the things that we went down. Then the other thing is this jersey. And I know Eric says that he likes the jersey and everything like that, but let me tell you about the jersey story, and it's way worse than the helmet story. So I actually tried to reach out to this original company before it split into two companies, probably about the 2008-2009 timeframe, to get my Nightbreed jersey that I have. And yes, I was being super demanding when I asked for the jersey at that time. However, I could have had a response from the owner of, or the customer service of, and say, Mr. Bashore, you're asking for way too many details in this. If you simplify a little bit more, we might be able to do it for you. However, it was just radio silent whenever I made these demands. And I didn't realize that I was dealing with the same company until I went through all of the steps and started doing some research on this one after the jersey had already been ordered. So I ordered a jersey. I get a digital mock-up of the jersey. It's created. I approve the digital mock-up. It's created. However, it didn't pass quality assurance to the owner of the company the first time. So we went through and we identified issues together that was wrong with the jersey. The couple of things that was wrong with it, and you can't really see it right now, But the Monarchs that's on the back, the whole name tape was above the line that intersects the back of the jersey. The piping that you see here in the gold wasn't as small. It was actually a whole lot wider than it was supposed to be. And the collar right here that was supposed to be red was not red. But in the meantime, there was other things that was wrong with that quality assurance check that was not brought to my attention that I thought was going to pass, which included the Monarchs name here on the jersey being bigger and a white outline on the lion on the sleeve. And right now, I believe that this lion is mostly lost on the sleeve without that white outline because of the blue that's included in the lion. But you let me know what you think when you look at that, if that looks okay to you or not. But anyway, so we both agreed on the things that needed to be fixed, which was the name across the back, the Monarchs, the tag that was right here, and the piping that was on us. We both agreed. So when I got the next mock-up of it, and it looks exactly like you see here, I said, well, what happened to the name of Monarchs on the front of the jersey? Why did it shrink? And why did the white outline go away? And he says, well, that is reflective of what you approved back in April. Remember, I said this has been a 65 to 70-day process at this point. So we were correcting things that we never said we were going to correct from the last quality assurance thing and making it look more like the original, which there wasn't a come to whatever meeting so I could let them know that I liked the bigger Monarchs and I liked the white outline on it, right? So the changes were just made. I kept asking, when is this jersey going to be done? When is the jersey going to be done? And I was getting radio silent until the day when I was asked, what's your address? And when I gave him my address, I wasn't getting a shipping number, a routing number, or anything like that. Just next thing I know, it showed up to my door 3 days later. Then here's what happened. I don't know if you can see it or not so much on this camera, but this is supposed to be a large jersey. A large jersey measured from armpit to armpit should be anywhere between 22 and 23 inches. After I put this jersey on and I felt like I was suffocating in it, I wrote Hopco Sports and I said, hey, I don't know what size jersey this is supposed to be, but this definitely does not fit like any of my other large jerseys that I have in my wardrobe. So he asked me if I could measure it from armpit to armpit. And I had already gone out and done my research on jerseys and known that this should be anywhere between 22 and 23 inches across here. And when we measured this, it was 20 and a half, 21 if we were being generous on the measurement. So I let him know that. I took pictures of this one and a lot of my other jerseys, Nike, Adidas, Team Rebel Sports, and Under Armour, all for reference on this, and sent it to him. And I already knew that the tightest jersey that I own in my wardrobe was my Rutgers jersey, and I put it on as a Nike jersey, and I knew it. And when we measured, it was 23 inches across. So this is already super tight, right? So I sent a not so nice, maybe professional, but still not so nice email. MJ was CC'd on it. MJ will have to let you know what she thought about the email or not. So you guys like the lion. It looks really good when I'm looking at it on camera, but when you actually look at it on the material with it being printed and it being sublimated, it's really not as good as it looks on camera. It looks better on camera. With the white outline helping identify the lion, staying out more. So Damien knows what I'm talking about. And at this point, I will take it with or without the white outline, because I really do believe whenever I get it, it's going to be without the white outline. But whenever we had all of these problems, the owner of Hopco says, hey, I don't normally do this, but we are having a lot of issues here. I will give you an away jersey close to the same mock-up of what you've got, except for it to be white in certain places, and the numbers will be different and stuff like that, and I'll give that to you for free. And then when I wrote him in a not-so-nice but professional email, I basically said, look, if the second jersey is going to show up anything like this jersey, and the tightness of it, and without the white outline, and all of the other things that are wrong with it, and it's not cut right, and all of that stuff, I said, don't even bother wasting your time making another one for me, because I won't wear it. This will probably be the only time that I wear this one as well, because I wanted you all to see it because of me telling the story for you all. However, after I measured the armpits and I sent him the measurements and sent him pictures of all of my other jerseys, he said, yeah, absolutely, it was a mistake on our part. We did the wrong size for you. We are going to send you the corrected version of this, and we are going to send you the away jersey as well, both in the correct size. Now, because I've had to reach out to this company so much to find out where we're at in the process with everything, I have not responded to him, and then I haven't said thanks or looking forward to it or anything like that like I had throughout the rest of the process. Because at this point, to me, it's lip service. Until I have it actually in my hand, I put it on my body, both of them, and they both fit me correctly, I'm not going to believe that anything that comes out of this company's mouth anymore. And what's really sad to me is that this guy is a retired United States Air Force airman for 24 years of service. And he already knows that I'm military. So this is being done from military member to military member. That is what hurts my soul probably more than anything. But what's so crazy is we just identified that these problems were with this earlier this week. And we've been in the 65 to 70 day process, right? He tells me that both of my jerseys will be created after 4th of July weekend. And I will have them by the end of the month. And I'm just wondering, forget about COVID. That's not even an excuse anymore. Why it took 65 to 70 days for me to get this one, but the next two corrected and to me are going to be in less than 4 weeks. So whatever. So Doug Woofy on with us. Doug, for those that don't know, Wolfinger, former buddy of mine from in the Army. Love you too, brother. MJ says she's been CC'd on the emails and Brian's been truly effectively communicated his displeasure. He stays on top of this with so many emails. It was ridiculous how poor the customer service was. True. Sean says at least the hat still looks good. You're right, because we got the hat from Squad Locker. The hat does look good. I'm glad that it looks good with everything, and everything mostly matches. What I did tell Hopco Sports with the jersey that the colors were right on. I do love these colors, but the cut, the size, I'm not real happy with anything else on it. But anyways, we say all of that to say this. You all know, who have been following us on GroupMe, know that I asked a week or so ago if you had one thing that you can get from us of the choices of a jersey, a full-size helmet, or a mini helmet of your team and of your brand, what would you like from FSA? And the majority of you voted that you would like to have a jersey. Because I've had such a rough go with this company, MJ and I have been talking over the last week or so. We have decided that FSA is going to get into the jersey business. I don't know how that's going to happen yet, but I am not giving up on this venture to make it happen. We have about 3 feelers out there. She says new beginnings. We have about 3 feelers out there of how we're going to be able to make this happen. As you all know, I sent out some kind of cryptic emails to you, or some images to you all over the last week or so that looked a little bit like this. Maybe a little bit like, I don't know if I'm going to have these pull up right or not, like this, where you're seeing the blackout logo of some of our best logos that are in FSA right now. You already saw the Southern Siren Sugar Scrub. You saw the Monarchs. Now you're seeing the Greenbacks. You're seeing the Rage right now. And you're seeing the Merman. And then one of my favorite is the Evil Empire. Kevin was on with us just a little bit ago. So you're seeing all of those. There's a reason that I sent those out. So we're going to dip our toe into this new venture. And we don't want to go crazy overboard with it all. So what we are going to do is we're going to release blackout versions for any of the teams out there that want them. So this is the part that we are working on right now, is with the 3 different companies, what it will take for us to get blackout jerseys made for you all with your redraft or dynasty logos on them for you. So if you have any knowledge of how we can make that happen, please share it with us, because the more poles we put in the lake, the more pokers we put in the fire, the more people we have on board to try to be able to make this happen, the quicker we can make it happen and try to get this product out to you. I would really love to be able to start sending you blackout jerseys with your logo on it right at the beginning of the fantasy football season. So, If you have any knowledge, please let us know. I'm so displeased with the quality of work, the customer service that I got from this company especially, and I'm glad you all said Jersey, that this is what I want to get into. We're going to make the price right for you all. We just got to figure out how we're going to do it. So that is the new beginnings. That is the new venture that we're getting into, and we hope to be able to put that in your hands and on your body as quickly as possible. Let us know what you think about it. Sean says he wants a jersey. Ross Norris says, I believe 100% that Brian will succeed in the jersey business. Ross, I very much appreciate that. So he says, help me understand what blackout jersey means. So here's what we're looking to do. I've started working on a mock-up, and I don't think I can do a screen share with you right now because I already have one worked out on Photoshop, but it's not complete. And I was doing it with the Southern Siren Sugar Scrub. Basically, it's going to be a all-black jersey. We will have whatever number you want on the front and whatever number you want on the back. Also, whatever name you want to cross the back, whether it's going to be your name or if it's going to be your team name that you want on there. And then we're going to have the logo for your team on the sleeves on the left and the right-hand side, very similar to what you already saw in the blackout images I just showed you for those other teams that are out there. And if I can get it to be worked, this spot right here or just below the collar where you normally see the NFL logo on football jerseys, I'm going to try to see if we can get a white version of the FSA crest on there. That's the one that's got the stars and the maple leafs on it with Walter in the middle, the FSA dangling from it, and the Roman numerals across it to see if we can't get that put on there. It'll be super, super simple. There won't be a whole lot of detail to it, and that's for us to dip our toe in it. Now, we're also looking at a couple of different companies that have a couple of different dual tone jerseys where there will at least be a little bit of color in it. It will be something very, very similar. Numbers on the front, numbers on the back, name on it, possible FSA there, but definitely with your logo on the sleeves. Might cost a little bit more for that. And then I'm also looking for a third company that will do something very similar to the Team Rebel Sports jerseys that we have from the FSA jersey from, Lord, I think at this point it's been 5 or 6 years. They're a little bit more detailed, different mesh here, different style across the shoulders, some spandex on it, some piping done a little bit different. We'll be able to get embroidery done on that. We can do tackle twill, which is when you actually have the numbers that are cut out and then stitched onto the jersey, which will also cost a little bit more. We're trying to find these in all these different companies because we want to be able to give you choices, but we want to be able to make sure that whatever we give you is quality. And we definitely want to make sure that it's sized correctly for you. If I have to fly or drive to where you are at to measure your body, to make sure that this jersey fits on you so you don't go through the same problem that I have, I will do that. And I mean that sincerely. Plus, I would love to see you all anyways. Brad, I'm coming up to Alaska to see you. Josh, I'm coming out to Vegas to see you. Chris, I don't think you're on right now. I'm coming over to the UK to see you. Matt, I'm coming over to Greece to see you. I don't think Brett's on with us right now, but I'm going to Australia to see him. Whatever I got to do to be able to get you all measured, I will do that if we have to. Chris, even you, man, because I know that you didn't end up being able to go on your holiday. Big apologies for that. Maybe me coming to you makes up for it a little bit. Probably not even close, man. I apologize. But I want to let you all know that we are going to dive into this. We are going to try to figure this out. Keep letting us know if you have any knowledge of places that we can go to. Be supportive. Give us the amount of time to be able to do it. But I am not giving up on this. This is not good. I am not happy with this. I even told the guy at this point, I don't even care if he tries to fix it for me or not. It was a lesson learned, but a very expensive lesson learned. But I can promise you that I will never go back to this company again. Hopco Sports, and I hate to give them a black eye, but whatever we get for FSA and wherever that comes from, even if I have to go overseas to find out what the quality of what we are getting prior to us getting it, I'm going to do that. If that means that we are going to Korea or China to be able to get these things done, even though I would love to keep it domestic, I will fly to those places to make sure that we get quality jerseys for our members. I would love to revisit Clarksville. Anytime I get a chance to go up there in the Fort Campbell area, I would love it. In fact, we were just talking about it in one of our meetings today, Damien, too. So I would go back there in a heartbeat. No questions asked. So that pretty much ends the show. Thank you for listening to my story. I already told you on GroupMe that I had a story to tell you all. I'm glad that the brand is coming together. I'm glad that I finally get to see, after 25 years of working with the Nightbreed, that I'm finally getting to see the Monarchs come full effect. But I'm not happy with this 100%. I'm definitely not happy with this. And it's just got me going down a new path, and us going down a new path. And we will make it worth everybody's while. Yeah, I did design Ross's kids' school logo. In case you all don't know, Ross, please let everybody in the chat group, if you don't mind letting everybody in the chat group know how many children you have. And they are all homeschooled by his amazing wife. And I think for some, you have to let me know what the logistics of this is. Because of the number of kids that are at home, it had to become a charter school or something of the like. And we had to do a logo for that. We didn't have to, but I think you wanted to. I think you wanted the kids to have matching shirts. And we designed that. If you have the opportunity to, and you still have the picture here, and I don't know if Live will let you post it right now or not, after the show's over, maybe if you don't mind, post the picture of all of the kids out there with the t-shirts on, because it's a great picture of the fam, if you don't mind sharing that. But I did design his. Ross has a really great mind. Not only does he have a great mind for the fantasy football world, but his mind in the way logos should look and the negative space that's being used for a design of a logo is really, really good. Almost to the point where if we didn't tell you you needed to look in the negative space or the empty space to see the logo, you wouldn't know it was there. But I thought it turned out really, really good. Ross thought it turned out really, really good. I appreciate him for letting me do that for him. And I think we did that about 2 years ago or so. Probably about the same time you mentioned the Arm and Leg League to me is about when that was taken care of. So, yeah. Chris says, don't come there. It's not worth it. Chris, coming to see you in person, since I've only ever seen you on video chat, I think one time, and you won't let us see your awesome face to post on any of your team profiles for the website, it is definitely worth coming over to see you. Plus, other than small stops in Ireland and Germany, whenever I was deploying back and forth, I've never really had a long stay over there, so I would absolutely love to come see you. You can't be but a small little plane ride to go over and see Matt in Greece as well, so I would love to see him while I'm over there too. And then I've got an Army buddy that is over in one of the bases in Germany. I'm not sure where he's at, actually. He was our world champion 2 years ago, Ryan Waldron. You all might remember that name. He's over there stationed in Germany right now, so I'd love to go see him and the family as well. 2018, so it was that many years ago. So yeah, they turned out really, really good. And I don't know who you had the t-shirts done by, Ross, but they really did look good on the kids. So don't forget, we mentioned it a couple times throughout the show, we do have a YouTube channel. Please go out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We actually did bump up to 48 over the last 2 weeks, so an increase of 1. Don't even need you to turn the notifications on. Just go over and subscribe to it. We're still looking to try to get that custom YouTube channel. We can't do that until we get 100. We can't do these live broadcasts until we reach 100 over there as well. Brandon's doing an amazing job for me being able to edit those videos and put them up. We got a little bit behind. My fault, because I hadn't been doing some of the editing on my side that needed to be done to push some of those over there. But up until when we were on the show 2 weeks ago, Brandon has all those videos right now. He's editing them. He'll get them up on YouTube sometime soon, so you'll be able to see them over there. So YouTube, please go over and do that. As you know, that we're going to try to get off of Facebook Live once the football season starts. So the only way you're going to be able to see the replay of these shows is over on YouTube, and that expands the market or the amount of people that can see us, because there are actually members in FSA that do not have YouTube accounts, or I'm sorry, Facebook accounts. So now we can get them over on YouTube to be able to watch the show. So we're in the middle of doing some free agency with the Bravo Dynasty League. We haven't really got a consensus from Alpha, Charlie, or Delta of whether we want to open up free agency there or not. If you guys are out there right now and you want to know, or if you want to throw that up there and do free agency, let me know. Hit me up on GroupMe so we can open it up for the other dynasties. Other than that, we don't have a whole lot going on. We'll keep our ear to the ground to see if there's any NFL news that needs to come out there to be posted on next week's show. We will be back next week. I absolutely promise you we'll be back next week. We might even have some news, Jimmy. We maybe have some news if we get a chance to talk by then. If not, we'll wait a couple weeks before we have to, or before we need to mention anything. So that means we'll be back on the 1st of July, just before we go on the 4th of July weekend. Damien says, how many members do we currently have in redraft? All I'm going to tell you is not enough. We haven't reached 96 yet. I would rather us be over that 96 or 100 mark, and myself and a couple other people that are inside the league to drop out to allow the new members to come in. So we haven't reached the 96 yet, so not enough. That's all I can tell you right now. Delta probably does want to get into the free agency because most of the league members are from Alpha Bravo Charlie. We've got 6 from Alpha, 3 from Bravo, 3 from Charlie. I think Chris made a mention to it on GroupMe the other night, so maybe I will put another feeler out as we're going into the weekend and see if you all want to open that up. And if we do, then we will keep the same schedule that we've got in Bravo right now. Well, free agency will run at 1 o'clock Wednesday mornings. And that will be the only time, and you will have to use Fab for that. You can't grab and go. It won't be first come, first serve. So that is an option that's out there. So Kevin says he has a jersey guy. Awesome, Kevin. Hit me up offline. That'll give us 4 options right now. MJ's got an option. Brandon's got an option. And I got another option with CPI, my buddy Christian, that has really been helping us out with a lot of stuff. So like I said, more poles in the pond, more pokers in the fire. I'm happy for whatever we can get. So like I said, we will be back next Wednesday. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors right now. Cranky Veteran Candle Company. I know we don't have the logo up there right now. I think according to the last social media post, they decided to take a night off themselves as well because they wanted to enjoy a little family time. So I hope you both get some family time with the kids. QB54, thank you for sponsoring the Arm and Leg League. We're going to keep pushing until we try to max that thing out as much as we can. I think we're sitting at 18 members right now. Nature Coast Tailgating, thank you for sponsoring the World Championship Bowl game this year with the cornhole boards that you're going to give us. Southern Siren Sugar Scrub is going to be one of our bowl sponsors this year. Not sure which one, but we're going to give some nice prizes away for that. Football Darts, thank you for sponsoring the broadcast every week as you do. Deep South Creations, thank you for being a bowl game sponsor as well. And then, of course, to Recast and all of the boys there, they are the official music of FSA. If you liked the show tonight, all of the social media links there are across the bottom. If you're not already following us on all of them, make sure that you go out and do that, especially on the YouTube channel. And hopefully, before we go to bed tonight, we will be able to get Damian Scott as a contributor on the FSA Twitter page, and he can start putting up some great stuff for us. Thank you all for listening to my story tonight. We're approaching 48 minutes right now. You all have a great night. We'll see you back again on 1 July. Hopefully we'll have some information about some jersey stuff for you by then. And, yeah, thank you again. You all have a great night.